Well, welcome back. This is January 9th, Scooba's Daily Bible Readings, where you read the Bible with me or you listen to me read the Bible. Either way, we're going to make it through it and we're going to get to where we're going. So we're going to start in Genesis chapter 20 today through 22, verse 24. And Abimelech. Once again, I'm not good with the names. So here we go. Genesis chapter 20. Now Abraham moved on from there into the region of the Negev, and he lived between Kadesh and Shur. For a while he stayed in Gerar, and there Abraham said to his wife Sarah, "She is my sister." Then the king Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent for Sarah and took her. But God came to Abimelech in the dream one night and said to him, "You are as good as dead, because the woman you have taken, she is a married woman." Now Abimelech had not gone near her, so he said, "Lord, will you destroy an innocent nation? Did he not say to me, 'She is my sister'? And didn't she also say, 'He is my brother'? I have done this with a clear conscience and clean hands." Then God said to him in a dream, "Yes, I know you did this with a clear conscience, and so I have kept you from sinning against me. That is why I did not let you touch her. Now return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pay for you, and you will live. He will pray for you, and you will live. But if you do not return her, you may be sure that you and all who belong to you will die." Early next morning, Abimelech summoned all of his officials, and when he told them what had happened, they were very much afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said, What have you done to us? Have I wronged you that you have brought such a great guilt upon me and my kingdom? Have you done things to me that should never been done?" And Abimelech asked Abraham, "What was the reason for doing this?" Abraham replied, "I said to myself, there is surely no fear of God in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she really is my sister, the daughter of my father, though not my mother, and she became my wife. And when God had me wandered from my father's household, I said to her, 'This is how you can show your love for me. Everywhere we go, say of me, he is my brother.' Then Abimelech brought sheep and cattle and male and female slaves and gave them to Abraham, and he returned Sarah, his wife, to him. And Abimelech said, 'My land is before you. Live wherever you like.' To Sarah he said, 'I'm giving your brother 1,000 shekels of silver. This is to cover the offense against you before all who are with you. You are completely vindicated.' Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female slaves so they could have children again. For the Lord had kept all the women in Abimelech's household from conceiving because of Abraham's wife Sarah. Chapter 21. The birth of Isaac. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah, and he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age. At that very time, God had promised him. Abraham gave the name Isaac to his son Sarah bore him. When his son Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him, and God commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, "God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me." And she added, "Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age." Hagar and Ishmael sent away. The child grew and was weaned, and on the day Isaac was weaned, Abraham held a great feast. But Sarah saw that the son whom Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham was mocking. And she said to Abraham, "Get rid of that slave woman and her son, for that woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac." The matter distressed Abraham greatly, because it concerned his son. But God said to him, "Do not be so distressed about the boy and your slave woman. Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. I will make the son of the slave into a nation also, because he is your offspring." Early the next morning, Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He set them He set them on their shoulders and then sent off with the boy. She sent on her way and wandered in the desert of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was gone, and she put the boy under one of the bushes, then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away, for she thought, I cannot watch the boy die. And as she sat there, she began to cry or sob. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from the heaven and said, What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. She went and filled the skin with her water and gave the boy a drink. God was with the boy as he grew. He lived in the desert and became an archer. While he was living in the desert of Paran, his mother got a wife for him from Egypt, the Treaty of Beersheba. At that time, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of the forces, said to Abraham, God is with you in everything you do. Now swear to me here before God that you will not deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. Show to me in the country where you now reside as a foreigner the same kindness I have shown to you. Abraham said, I swear. Then Abraham complained to Abimelech about a well of water that Abimelech's servants have seized. But Abimelech said, I do not know who has done this. You did not tell me, and I heard about it only today. So Abraham brought sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two men made a treaty. Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs from the flock, and Abimelech asked Abraham, What is the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs you have set apart by themselves? He replied, Accept these 7 lambs from my hand as a witness that I dug this well. So that place was called Beersheba, because 2 men swore an oath there. After the treaty had been made at the Beersheba, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his forces, returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the eternal God. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. Chapter 22. Sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to Abraham, Here I am, he replied. Then God said, Take your son, your only son whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on the mountain, and I will show you. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and loaded his donkey. He took him with 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw this place in the distance. He said to his servants, Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship, and then we will come back to you. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife. And the 2 of them went on together. Isaac spoke up and said to his father, Abraham, Father. Yes, my son, Abraham replied. The fire and wood are here, Isaac said, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And the 2 of them went on together. When they reached the place God had told them about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Here I am, he replied. Do not lay a hand on that boy, he said. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. Abraham looked up and there in the thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called that place, The Lord will provide. And to this day it is said, On that mountain the Lord will be provided. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time and said, I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and you have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the skies and as the sands of the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies, and through their offspring all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me. Then Abraham returned to his servant, and they set off together for Beersheba. And Abraham stayed in Beersheba. Noah's sons. Sometime later, Abraham was told, Milcah is also a mother. She was born sons to the brother of Noah. Uz, the firstborn, Buz, his brother, Chemel, father of Aram, Kesed, Hazal, Pildash, Jedlaph, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. Michal bore these 8 sons to Abraham's brother Noah. This concubine, whose name was Rimah, also had sons, Teba, Gaham, Tahesh, and Makkah. All right, so that was our Genesis reading for January 9th. We're going to jump over to our Matthew. And we're looking at Matthew chapter 7. And I think we're going to go verse 15 is where we're at. I think we read a little bit extra yesterday. But we're going to go back and read about false prophets. Chapter 7, 15 through 29. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus by their fruit you will recognize them. True and false disciples. We're going through 29. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the ones who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. The wise and foolish builders. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew, and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teachings, because he taught as one who had authority, and not as the teachers of the law. All right, that's our Matthew. We're going to jump over into our Psalms next. And we're looking at Psalms 9, 1 through 12. Give you a second to get there. Thanks for sticking with us. Or me, I should say. Thanks for us sticking together. All right, Psalms 9, verse 1 through 12. I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing the praises of your name of Most High. My enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before you. For you have upheld my right and my cause, sitting enthroned as the righteous judge. You have rebuked the nations and destroyed the wicked. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. Endless ruin has taken over my enemies. You have uprooted their cities, even the memory of them has perished. The Lord reigns forever. He has established his throne for judgment. He rules the world in righteousness and judges the people with equity. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Those who know your name trust in you. For you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. Sing the praises of the Lord, enthroned in Zion. Proclaim among the nations that what he has done. For he who avenges blood remembers. But he does not ignore the cries out of the afflicted. Lord, see how my enemies persecute me. Have mercy and lift me up from the gates of death, that I may declare your praises in the gates of daughter Zion, and that their rejoice is in your salvation. The nations have fallen into the pit they have dug. Their feet are caught in the net they have hidden. The Lord is known by his acts of justice. The wicked are ensnared by the work of their hands. The wicked go down to the realm of the dead. All the nations that forgot God. But God will never forget the needy. The hope of the afflicted will never perish. Oops, we got a little further on that one too. We're gonna stop at 12. We made it to 18. That's okay. A little extra word of the Lord ain't bad. Let's see. Now we're jumping over to Proverbs. We're looking at 16 through 22. Proverbs 2, 16 through 22. Let's see if we can remember where to stop this time. All right. Hope you're there. Proverbs 2, verses 16 through 22. Wisdom will save you also from the adulterous wisdom. Rewind that. Wisdom will save you also from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words, who has left the partner of her youth and ignored the covenant she made before God. Surely her house leads down to death, and her paths to the spirits of the dead. None who go to her return or attain the paths of life. Thus you will walk in the ways of the good, and keep to the paths of the righteous. For the upright will live in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut down from the land, and the unfaithful will be torn from it. Wow, that one was a bit tongue twister for me today. Once again, we've completed our daily reading, Scooba's Daily Bible, side quest / we're in it together, and we'll get there where we're going together. See you when we get there. Keep on reading. See you tomorrow.